Your doctor probably eats at least 3 of these foods and would never admit it in public. One of them smells like a corpse, another looks like mucus, and the last one? It's still alive when it hits your stomach. Let's start with something people actually pay extra money for at juice bars. Activated charcoal? You've seen it. That jet black lemonade, those pitch dark smoothies that look like they were mixed in a car engine. People drink this stuff thinking it'll suck toxins right out of their body. Here's what it actually does. Activated charcoal binds to everything in your stomach. And I mean everything. Your morning vitamins? Gone. That birth control pill? Potentially useless. Heart medication? Your body might not absorb it for up to 24 hours. Hospitals use this stuff, but only when someone swallows poison. Not because Karen had a glass of wine last Tuesday and needs to cleanse. Your liver already detoxes you. So do your kidneys. They've been doing this job for free since you were born. They don't need backup from burnt coconut shells. But wait, it gets better? Regular charcoal consumption causes constipation, black stools that'll make you think something's seriously wrong, and in some cases, actual intestinal blockages. Nothing says wellness like a trip to the emergency room. The FDA has never approved this stuff as a supplement or detox agent. Not once. Yet Americans spend over $50 million yearly on charcoal products. $50 million. On something that provides 0 proven health benefits for anyone who hasn't accidentally swallowed bleach. I tried a charcoal ice cream once. Tasted like frozen regret with a hint of campfire. My teeth looked like I'd been chewing on barbecue briquettes for a week. So why do people keep buying it? Same reason they buy the next item on this list. Marketing that sounds scientific but falls apart under any actual scrutiny. Now let's talk about celery juice. Somewhere around 2019, people started chugging 16 ounces of this stuff every morning like it was liquid gold. Grocery stores literally ran out of celery. There were actual shortages. Americans spent over $200 million on celery that year, all because one guy told them to. Here's the thing about that guy. He calls himself the medical medium. Sounds official, right? Except he has no medical degree, no nutrition certification, no scientific training whatsoever. He claims he gets his health advice from a spirit. A spirit. And millions of people change their entire morning routine based on this. But let's look at celery itself. It's 95% water. When you juice it, you remove the fiber. That's the only part that actually does anything useful in your digestive system. So you're left with expensive green water, plus 189 milligrams of sodium per glass. Drink it daily like the influencers recommend? That sodium adds up fast. There's another problem nobody mentions. Juicing destroys the cellular structure that slows down sugar absorption. Even vegetable juice spikes your blood sugar faster than just eating the whole vegetable would. Your pancreas doesn't care if the sugar came from a wellness trend. I tried the celery juice thing for a week. You know what happened? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Except my kitchen smelled like a salad bar had an accident. You could eat 2 stalks of whole celery, keep the fiber, and spend about 40 cents. Instead, people pay $8 at juice bars for the privilege of drinking diluted celery bathwater. Speaking of expensive water that does nothing special, let me tell you about raw water. In 2018, Silicon Valley tech workers started paying $60 per gallon for untreated spring water. $60. For water straight from the ground, no filtration, no treatment, nothing. Their reasoning? Tap water contains fluoride and chlorine. Government poisons, they called it. You know what else untreated water contains? Giardia. E. coli. And my personal favorite ingredient, animal feces. There's a reason we invented water treatment in the first place. Before filtration became standard, waterborne diseases killed millions of people. Cholera wiped out entire neighborhoods. Typhoid fever was just a normal Tuesday. Dysentery killed more soldiers in the Civil War than actual bullets did. But sure, I'll be honest, I thought these health rings were a scam. I bought one half expecting to send it back. But 3 months later, it hasn't left my finger. And it does way more than I expected. Sleep, activity, heart rate, recovery and stress, all from one little ring. The thing that helped me most? I realized my afternoon coffee was quietly wrecking my sleep. One small change, cutting it off after lunch, and within a week, I was sleeping like a rock. Now here's why I'm telling you this. Right now the ring's 63% off. Just 60 bucks if you grab it through the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. There's a 90-day money-back guarantee if it's not for you. But I'm keeping mine. Let's go back to that. Raw water fans love talking about beneficial bacteria in their untreated spring water. Here's what that beneficial bacteria often actually is: livestock runoff, agricultural pesticides, naturally occurring arsenic from the surrounding rocks. Sounds delicious, right? The CDC reports that untreated water causes approximately 7.2 million illnesses in America every single year. That's not ancient history. That's happening right now. And here's the part that really gets me. These same people who refuse to drink chlorinated tap water because of chemicals, they'll happily chug spring water that flows past farms using actual chemical fertilizers and pesticides. The irony is so thick, you could bottle it and sell it for 60 bucks. I grew up drinking well water. You know what my parents did? They tested it regularly. Because groundwater can change. Contaminants shift. 1 month it's fine. Next month, something dead upstream makes you very sick. Speaking of paying too much for water with questionable benefits, let's talk about alkaline water. People spend thousands of dollars on machines that raise their water's pH. The promise? Better health, more energy, cancer prevention. The reality? Your stomach is basically a vat of hydrochloric acid. The moment alkaline water hits your stomach, that fancy pH of 9 or 10 gets obliterated. Your stomach acid sits between 1.5 and 3.5 on the pH scale. That's strong enough to dissolve metal. Your expensive water doesn't stand a chance. But here's what really kills me. Your body already regulates its own pH. Blood stays between 7.35 and 7.45, always, automatically. If it shifted outside that range by even a tiny amount, you'd be dead within minutes. Not sick, dead. Your body isn't stupid. It figured out pH balance millions of years before wellness influencers discovered Instagram. Those alkaline water machines? They run between $1,000 and $6,000. For water that works exactly like the filtered stuff you could get for 50 bucks. I actually tried alkaline water for a month. You know what changed? My bank account got lighter. That's it. And the research? 0 peer-reviewed studies prove alkaline water prevents cancer, boosts energy, or does anything special for healthy humans. Not one. Oh, and my favorite part. Wellness gurus tell you to add lemon to your alkaline water. For extra health benefits. Guess what happens when you add acidic lemon juice to alkaline water? It becomes acidic again. You just paid $6,000 for lemonade with extra steps. But water isn't the only thing getting dressed up and sold as healthy. Wait until you see what they did to candy bars. Protein bars. The official snack of people who want to feel athletic while standing still. Walk into any gym and you'll see them. Wrappers scattered around like confetti at a fitness parade. Everyone thinks they're eating something healthy. Here's the truth. Many protein bars contain more sugar than a Snickers. I'm not exaggerating. Some popular brands pack over 25 grams of sugar into a single bar. At that point, just eat the candy. At least it's honest about what it is. But wait, the label says low carb. How? Sugar alcohols, specifically maltitol. This sneaky ingredient doesn't count toward net carbs on labels. Sounds great until you realize what it does to your digestive system. About half of all people who eat sugar alcohols experience bloating, gas, and urgent bathroom trips. I learned this the hard way on a road trip. Trust me, you don't want to discover your maltitol sensitivity 3 hours from the nearest rest stop. And the protein itself? Most bars use cheap soy isolate or collagen. Your body doesn't absorb these nearly as well as protein from actual food. A can of tuna costs $1 and delivers better results. Less exciting packaging, though. Americans spend over $4 billion yearly on these glorified candy bars. $4 billion. That's a lot of money for stomach cramps and false hope. Here's what kills me. One famous health bar brand got sued because the fiber they listed on their label? The human body couldn't actually use it. Fake fiber. They invented fake fiber. Read the ingredients sometime. Whey powder, corn syrup, vegetable oils. It's a candy bar doing CrossFit cosplay. Speaking of sweeteners hiding their true identity, Agave nectar, the sweetener that health food stores display like it's liquid gold. Every wellness influencer swears by it. Natural alternative to sugar, low glycemic, straight from a plant. Must be healthy, right? Wrong. So very wrong. Here's what they don't tell you. Agave nectar contains up to 90% fructose. High fructose corn syrup? That villain everyone avoids? Only 55% fructose. Let that sink in. The healthy option has nearly double the fructose of the stuff we've been warned about for decades. And your liver? It processes fructose exactly like alcohol. Seriously, dump enough fructose into your system and your liver starts converting it directly into fat. That's how you get non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, from a sweetener marketed to yoga instructors. But wait, the label says low glycemic index. That sounds good? Technically true, completely misleading. Fructose doesn't spike your blood sugar because it skips that system entirely. Instead, it goes straight to your liver and overwhelms it. Your blood sugar stays stable while your organs take the hit. Great trade, huh? Here's the part that gets me. Traditional Mexicans used agave for centuries, but they fermented it into tequila. Nobody was drizzling raw agave on their oatmeal. The modern syrup sitting in your pantry? That's a heavily processed industrial product. The raw plant is actually mildly toxic until factories heat treat and chemically process it. Meanwhile, honey sits on the same shelf. Actual enzymes. Real antioxidants. Costs less. I switched to agave years ago thinking I was making a smart choice. Spent premium prices on fancy bottles. Turns out I was just giving my liver extra homework. Speaking of foods that look healthy but deliver nothing, rice cakes, the official snack of people who've given up on joy. Every diet since the 1980s has included these crunchy little circles. Low calorie, fat-free, looks healthy sitting on your desk. Your coworker sees you eating one and assumes you've got your life together. But here's the thing nobody mentions. Rice cakes have a glycemic index of 82. White bread, 75. You're eating something that spikes your blood sugar faster than actual bread. Almost as fast as pure glucose itself. How does that happen? The puffing process. Factories take rice, apply extreme heat and pressure, and basically explode it into edible styrofoam. Whatever nutrients existed in that grain, gone. Vaporized. You're left with air, simple carbohydrates, and regret. One rice cake gives you about 35 calories. Sounds great for dieting. Except there's no protein, no fiber, no fat. Nothing to tell your brain you've actually eaten food. So 30 minutes later, you're starving again and eyeing the vending machine. I remember keeping a whole sleeve of these things in my desk drawer. Thought I was being disciplined. Turns out I was just eating flavored air while my blood sugar went on a roller coaster ride. And the weird part? 2 rice cakes spike your blood sugar faster than a tablespoon of straight white sugar would. You'd literally be better off eating sugar from a spoon. At least you'd know what you signed up for. Diet culture sold us these things when fat was the enemy. We now know refined carbs cause more weight problems than fat ever did. The science moved on. Rice cakes didn't. Want another diet food that's secretly working against you? Detox teas. The official beverage of people who want to lose weight but also spend half their day in the bathroom. These fancy little tea bags promise to flush toxins, melt belly fat, and give you glowing skin. What they actually contain? Senna. A laxative so powerful that doctors prescribe it before colonoscopies. That 5 pounds you lost after a week of detox tea? Water and waste. Your body gets it back within 48 hours of stopping. You didn't burn fat. You just dehydrated yourself with stomach cramps. But here's where it gets genuinely dangerous. Long-term Senna use can actually damage the nerves in your colon. Your intestines forget how to work on their own. People become dependent on laxatives just to have normal bowel movements. That's not detox. That's creating a medical problem you didn't have before. And the influencers pushing this stuff? Many of them pocket $50,000 per Instagram post. Sometimes more. They're not drinking that tea. They're laughing all the way to the bank while their followers sprint to the bathroom. The FTC has fined multiple detox tea companies millions of dollars for false advertising. Millions. Because the claims were complete garbage. Yet somehow these products still fill grocery store shelves. I tried one of these teas years ago, thought I was being proactive about my health. Spent the next 12 hours learning exactly where every public restroom in my neighborhood was located. Here's the thing nobody selling you detox tea will admit. Your liver and kidneys already detox your body every single day for free. You don't need expensive herbal laxatives to do a job your organs handle automatically. Speaking of misleading health foods with deceptive packaging, veggie straws, the snack that lets parents feel like heroes while feeding their kids glorified potato chips. Flip that bag over. Read the ingredients. The first one? Potato starch. Not spinach, not kale, not anything green that actually grew in soil. Just processed potato powder with a sprinkle of vegetable dust for color. That green tint fooling everyone? It comes from spinach powder so diluted you'd need to eat roughly 40 bags to equal one actual spinach leaf. And the orange straws? Tomato paste. In amounts so small, they're basically homeopathic. Here's what kills me. A serving of veggie straws has almost identical calories, fat, and sodium to regular potato chips. Sometimes more. You're paying extra for the word veggie on the package and nothing else. One popular brand got sued over this exact scam. Lab tests showed their veggie straws contained almost no measurable vegetable content. The vegetables were basically a rumor, a suggestion, a lie wrapped in a shiny green bag. But parents keep buying them, packed in school lunches, served at playdates, all because marketing teams figured out that green packaging plus the word veggie equals guilt-free snacking. It doesn't. It equals expensive deception. The frying process destroys whatever microscopic vitamins might have survived anyway. You're left with hot air, starch, and salt shaped into little tubes. That's it. Want actual vegetables? Eat actual vegetables. Carrot sticks exist. They're cheaper. They contain real nutrition. Revolutionary concept? I know. Look, most health foods follow the same playbook. Fancy packaging, buzzwords, celebrity endorsements, and ingredients that tell a completely different story than the marketing. Your grocery store's health aisle isn't a pharmacy, it's a casino, and the house always wins.